Hello Australia, welcome to episode 720 of The Couch. Big show today. We've got an amazing new talented singer coming on the show. Her name is Rochelle O'Reilly. She'll be coming in today. Troy Wood is part of Millennium Kids. He's only 16. We're going to find out about him. Nat Foster's also coming in to talk about a fantastic new product for animals called Zami Pet, so stay tuned for that one. Later on, Consumer Watch with Gary, Newcomb and Nisha. We're talking about scams and much more. RAC Arena events with Marika Bailey. Later on, we've got Talking Streaming with Paul Elwyn. We've also got Belinda Cipriano back with What's On in Perth, and there's lots of stuff happening. And then the Bitchin' team is back with, of course, Nat, Ted and Chris with another Bitchin' segment. So big show. Stick around for the next hour. The show starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. You can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh, oh, oh.
Hello Australia, thank you for your company today. I hope you're over the election. Congratulations to the Prime Minister, well achieved, and we look forward to another 3 years of good government, let's hope. On the show today, we've got a good program. In fact, we can manage that here ourselves. We've got Nisha Seth on the couch today with our good friend Gary Newcomb, the Commissioner for Consumer Protection. He's back on his feet and legs and arms, and he's back in the studio, and we look forward to seeing him today. Welcome back, Gary.
Thanks very much, Fred.
Thank you so much, Fred, and it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, Gary. Welcome back.
Thanks, Nisha. It's great to be here.
And Gary, you're always talking about really important topics, particularly today is around redirection scams.
Absolutely. Yes, consumer protection is one of those things that actually does relate directly to what people do in their daily lives. And one of the things we want to alert people to is what we call payment redirection scams. I've talked before about scams on this show. It's something that's never going to go away, but this is something that we had an example of in April. A person has lost $732,000 here in WA,
Goodness.
so that is a huge amount of money to lose. And we've already seen more payment redirection scams and losses to date this year in WA than we did for the whole of last year.
Wow. And in terms of the increase, do you think, is it the medium or the way in which people are actually interacting online versus, being a little bit more versatile and going into a bank and using a bank check? What's actually, I guess, maybe
I think there's a variety of things. So maybe just to explain for people what a payment redirection scam
perfect.
is.
Thank you.
It largely targets high-value purchases, so homes, motor vehicles, but also business sales. And it's a situation where there is a sale and the payment, there's communication online, almost always by email, and the payment details are given to someone by email. What happens with these scams is a person intercepts that communication between either the seller or their agent, say a settlement agent, and the buyer, and they send an email which, to all intents and purposes, looks like it's come from the seller or their agent, and it will direct payment to a particular bank account, which is the scammer's bank account, not the correct bank account. That means if the person falls for it, they pay that money and it's gone.
Yeah, goodness. So that's quite a strategic and calculated event where someone is absolutely basically ensured that if they can provide you with a little bit of information that sounds slightly familiar, you might go, ooh, this sounds slightly legitimate, let me...
Yes.
So it could happen to any of us, really, which is why we need to all be vigilant, right?
That's right. I mean, everybody is vulnerable to scams. People often think, you have to be quite silly to fall for a scam. Absolutely not true. We've seen everybody from all walks of life, and my view on this all the time is that everybody's vulnerable at some point in their life.
And this was $732,000 that this lady lost in April. This is huge. This is unrecoverable for most Australians, isn't it?
Absolutely. So two things about it. One, that amount of money most people cannot afford to lose. She also didn't get the house. So haven't got the house they purchased. And really, it's very unlikely that any money will be recovered. Now, you can protect yourself from these. There are some things to look for, and we're urging anybody who's involved in an online payment, particularly for high-value items, to look for these things.
Okay.
So one is if you get email communication, check that actual email address to make sure it is the original email address. Sometimes it'll just come with a sort of shorthand indication. Click on that to see what the real email address is.
Good.
The other is that if there's any suggestion that it's a change in what was the previously advised banking arrangements, that should be an absolute red flag. You should never respond to an email change of banking details. You should go back by telephone or in person to the seller or their agent to confirm that there's been a change.
Perfect. So like a quick 5-minute phone call could effectively confirm or deny whether this email is in fact legitimate.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was a settlement agent's email that was intercepted. They had been previously advising to be aware of scams.
How bad would the settlement agent feel too?
Well,
and
yes,
then
and
they're innocent too, in a
Yes,
sense.
I mean, in this case, they had done the right thing. What we are saying to businesses, though, we are increasing our expectation on all businesses. If you offer online payment and email payment, you do that not just for the benefit of the client, but for yourself. It's your responsibility to make sure that you have secure payment arrangements, that you have security on your own business systems, so you have antivirus. And that's the same for every individual because we don't know. In each case, the intercept comes from different ways of people finding out email addresses and so on. There are lots of ways that they can be accessed.
Sure.
They might be hacked. There might be something that they've got from somebody else. But if you need to have antivirus software at home. And what we have seen over the last 18 months in particular is with a lot more people working from home, they're online a lot more. And if you don't have VPN or security at home, you are vulnerable, and that vulnerability is increased.
And it's actually, I know from having a number of like little small businesses that a VPN is not that much more expensive. So being able to actually invest in that is really important, right?
Absolutely. It is protection that you can take. And as I say, certainly if you are working for home or regularly involved in transactions, it's highly advisable that you have that security. You also need to be updating your passwords all the time.
Good.
I know that's a hassle. I find that too. It's difficult to remember. But to be honest, you have to take the steps to protect yourself because there are people like these scammers out there all too willing to take your money without a care in the world.
Yep. So watch your bank accounts too, right? I think for people that maybe don't check their bank accounts regularly, like if you're looking every day, because I recall you last year telling us that if you, it's the time in which something actually takes place and how you respond that calculates to how effective you are to get the money back too. So if it's 2 months, it might be harder than if it's 2 weeks.
Absolutely. The reality is you need to respond very quickly if there's any chance at all to get the bank to intercept the transaction. So a very good point. Always check your bank account statements. The other thing is, of course, scammers, if they get your bank details, the standard way they operate is they'll make several minor transactions.
It's like the Barings Bank
test
scandal.
So they'll test. I had this happen to me. You know, someone had accessed, that's going back when we were travelling, someone had accessed my credit card details from somewhere, and they had taken several small amounts out of the account, which actually I didn't pick up, the bank did. But once they have confirmed that the account's viable, they'll then go for a big withdrawal.
And the other quick thing I'm going to say before we jump onto the next important topic is that we need to be really mindful, and this is probably a push more so for the banks here in Western Australia, if I be so cheeky, but matching their BSBs and their account numbers, because this is really critical, right?
Absolutely.
In terms of being able to catch people.
We really want the banks to step their game up in this regard. In Australia, when you do online banking, banks do not match the BSB and account number with the account name. They do in the United Kingdom. It's a requirement, and that is a major way of stopping these transactions, because in this case, what happened is the email asked for payment to go into a bank account. Now, that bank account was not held in the name of the settlement agent.
Right.
So if the bank had matched that, it would have been able to intercept it. Now, the banks don't do that in Australia. They do have a warning on almost all online banking that says your responsibility to check these, but the reality is individuals will not know.
Well, let's get the human and systems errors aligned there. I think it's important. The next topic is really important around COVID travel issues and statistics. A lot of us are heading overseas and it's very exciting, but what do we need to be mindful of?
Yes, so now that Australians can travel, there's a lot of pent-up demand for people to travel. COVID hasn't gone away, of course, and its impact all around the world is still quite different. So there's some important things you need to take account of if you're looking to book travel. The first thing, as we advise people during the height of COVID, make sure you know the terms and conditions of whatever you're purchasing, whether it's an airline flight, a cruise or whatever. And our advice is to go for the most flexible option to ensure that you have the right to cancel without penalty, because there's still many possibilities that your travel arrangements may be interrupted by changes to COVID and also changes to the way in which individual governments are going to deal with it. So that's the first thing. You need to understand the terms and conditions, look for flexibility. The other is that travel insurance has changed. Initially, when COVID was in its peak, most travel insurance did not provide any coverage for COVID. That's changed, and most travel insurance will now provide cover for illness if you are ill due to COVID and if you have to change your travel plans as a result. What they won't cover, no one's covering, is if you have to change your travel arrangements because the government has intervened and either put in place a lockdown or controls over travel. So, for example, Japan still has controls over travel. So those two things are really important. Look at your travel arrangements, look at your travel insurance, be flexible, don't pay big deposits up front. The other two things, of course, there are other changes that are occurring. And one thing I just flag for people, which has not had a lot of publicity, but next year, from about the middle of next year, the Schengen group, which is really the European Union, will require travellers to actually register online and pay a fee before they land in the country. At the moment, you can, as an Australian, you can go to most of Western Europe without a visa, and you can just turn up, get off the plane.
Literally get stuck abroad if you don't do this, guys.
You won't be admitted if you don't do it. So it's going to be voluntary from the end of this year to the first part of next year, but it will become mandatory.
Okay, so it's a gradual introduction, but we need to be aware of it.
And they're doing that in part to help them control the movement of people driven out of COVID. The other thing that people just need to be aware of, it's hard to judge where it's going, but the war in the Ukraine obviously creates a fair degree of uncertainty, and that has the potential to impact on travel arrangements as well. So again, you need to be flexible and have good cancellation.
I know a lot of us read the product disclosure statements, and we skim it, but it's a really important time to read them well, right, and understand. Yes.
And most insurance companies now have been pretty good about having a plain English summary of their product disclosure. The thing to bear in mind with insurance in particular, travel insurance and any insurance, if you end up in a dispute with it, you can go to the Australian Financial Complaints Authority and they will deal with your complaint about travel insurance or insurance as well.
Fantastic, Gary. As usual, so informative, and I'm sure that there's probably a number of questions, and there will be in the future with the ever-changing COVID environment. Where will people find out more? Sure.
So if you're in Western Australia, ring 1300 30 40 54, which is our contact centre, or you can get more information on our website, which is consumerprotection.wa.gov.au.
Wonderful, Gary. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks
and we look forward to having you on regularly and finding out, I guess, the latest updates. I'm glad you're in good health as well. You're a good friend of the couch.
Thanks, Nisha. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. And if you've missed any of that, of course, you can get all the info on our Facebook page, thecouch.com and thecouch.com.au as well. But for now, it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Nisha. Nice to see Gary back from leave as well. And I've learnt a lesson today. I'm not taking any phone calls. I'm not going to the Ukraine because their club lounge is not up and running anymore. And the other thing I'm not going to be doing is doing any shopping by the sounds of it. And you've got to be so careful these days. Scams are something, take them serious. If you want more information, please call Consumer Protection if you're not sure. And they are the best people to lead you in the right direction. But whatever you do not pay any money. Nobody wants the money that quickly. They can wait. And you can get back to them, because I know a lot of scams prey on people. A young lady on the set today who we think is absolutely wonderful. Her name is Rochelle O'Reilly. She's a West Australian girl. She's from Gosnells here in WA, and she's got a brand new song called Freedom. I think she's dedicated this to our Prime Minister. Here she is.
I used to know the feeling of this word. It's something I've seen, but something I've never heard. Now I know the meaning of this word. Freedom, it floats around the center of this earth. in the hands of those who serve. Get up, get out of your bed. We're moving. Get up, get out of your bed. We're moving. Get up, get out of your head. We're moving. Get up, get out of your bed. We're moving on. But times don't have to be over, 'cause things are gonna change. 'Cause life's about the moving. If you don't, you remain the same. Freedom. I used to know the feeling of this word. It's something I've seen, but something I've never heard. Now I know the meaning of this word. Get out of your bed, we're moving. Get up, get out of your bed, we're moving. Get up, get out of your head, we're moving. Get up, get out of your bed, we're moving on. 'Cause life's about the moving. If you don't, you remain the same. Freedom. I used to know the feeling of this word. Something I've seen, but something I've never heard. Now I know the meaning of this word. Freedom. It floats around the center of this earth, but deep inside it needs to be rebirthed. You find it in the hands of those who serve. Get up, get out of your bed. We're moving. Get up, get out of your bed. We're moving. Get up, get out of your head. We're moving. Get up, get out of your bed. We're moving on.
Thank you very much to Rochelle O'Reilly. You'll see a lot more of her later in the couch. A very special extra segment. We'll get to talk to her and give you more information about her. So keep an eye on the website, because that's the only place you'll see that extra segment, on YouTube and Facebook. Now, on the show, it's time to welcome back one of our regulars, Marika Bailey from RSC Arena.
Yes,
welcome
thank you.
back.
Thank
nice
you.
to have
Good
you
to
here.
be here.
Now, tell me, is everything back up and open and full capacity?
Yep, full capacity, which is amazing, and yeah, restrictions are gone, so we're back at it.
How good is it to be able to welcome performers, singers, artists, special guests, big stars back to the arena?
It is good to be back. Yeah.
Fantastic. And are you guys still offering the parking deal as well, or is that gone now that you're too busy?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
It has.
Bad luck. You can only park if you come to see one of the
Oh, no, I mean,
fantastic
sorry, it
shows.
is open to the public as usual, but
Yeah, there might be less parking spots, but look, it's good to hear that you're back up and running.
Yeah.
And we've got 5 events today, which I think are going to blow everyone's minds. West Coast Fever, 17th, 22nd, 28th of May and the 12th of June. Tell us what that's all about.
Yes, so they play 7 home games in a season, so we're 3 down and 4 to go. They're at the top of the ladder, which is amazing. So this is the best time to see them while they're at the peak of their game. So they've got the Vixens, Giants, Firebirds and Thunderbirds. And so come
and you can get your tickets online. Can you buy them now?
Yep, through Ticket Tech as always, and they range from 27 to 50 plus. There's corporate packages as well.
Not a bad package there as well. Yeah. And that's the West Coast Fever. Please catch them 17th, 22nd, 28th of May and, of course, the 12th of June as well. Now, the second thing we're going to be talking about today is the Kid Laroi.
The Kid Laroi.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, the Kid Laroi.
Cool.
His real name is, I wrote this down because I wasn't going to remember it, Charlton Kenneth Jeffrey Howard.
Kid Laroi.
The Kid Laroi.
A lot easier to pronounce his
It is.
stage name. 30th of May, he's coming to Perth.
Yes. So he is blown up over the last couple of years. He's an 18-year-old Australian rapper, singer, songwriter, and he's taking the world by storm. So, yeah.
Fantastic. And that's only one show?
Just the one show, yeah. So don't miss out. Get your tickets. They're selling fast.
30th of May, the Kid Laroi will be hitting Perth Arena, or should I say RAC Arena. Thank you very much. Number 3, Sneakerland. Now, this is something I've heard about before.
Yes, so it came last year.
4th of June.
Yeah, so this is the second year, 4th of June, yep. So it's Australia's biggest sneaker streetwear.
So what happens? What do people do at a Sneakerland event?
So it's kind of like a convention. So people walk around, there's stall holders, there's activations, there's competitions, there's giveaways, and people can also bring a couple of pairs of sneakers and swap them with other people that are attending. So, yeah, there's lots happening. There's an auction room, there's NFTs for auction as well.
So can you buy things while you're there as well?
You can. Yep, you do.
Wow. Any really expensive sneakers? I remember once there was a American basketballer. He brought in one of his shoes into the couch and it was $20,000 a shoe.
It's crazy, isn't
But
it?
we couldn't get the second one. We only had one.
Yeah.
Pointless.
Yeah.
But 20 grand. So you've got very expensive sneakers. Sneakers from all types of backgrounds.
Yeah. Sneakers have just blown up recently. It's a real culture. So
I think it's a great idea too because it's something funky
It's a
as
bit
well. People
different.
can do their own thing.
Yeah.
Number 4, and by the way, that was the 4th of June, Sneakerland.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Symphony, 17th of June.
Yep.
One night only.
One night only.
What's this all about?
This is an 18+ event. It's a bit of a party for the adults, and it's a celebration of 30 years of dance music. And the Perth Symphony Orchestra perform, as well as DJs and live singers. And so we had it for the first time last year, and so it's good to be back.
Worked well.
Yeah, it was such a party. It was a
Now,
real good vibe.
This is wonderful. It's live music.
Yeah.
It's in the RAC Arena. What sort of numbers can you hold now at the arena now that the restrictions are gone?
Yeah, so we're at full capacity. So for a concert, it can be up to 15,000,
That's a lot of
depending on with the setup and the production and that sort of thing.
Fantastic. And the last event we're going to talk about today is one that we all know because even I'm
Yes.
at the age I remember.
They've been
the
around for a while.
Harlem Globetrotters. You jogged my memory because I never knew them when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
5th of July, but of course,
Deprived.
Marika, you knew all about them. They're an amazing basketball team from
Yes.
America. They're legends, in fact, aren't they?
So Harlem Globetrotters coming on the 5th of July. And they've been around for a while and they just do lots of trick shots and amazing sort of...
Is this all the original still?
No.
They're obviously not.
It's been a while, so I don't think they'd be still playing. So no, they
So
are
you and I are
a
not
new-
going to get the call up.
Unfortunately, I also just think I've got a height issue.
Yeah, look, I've got a weight issue too. I don't think I can do those 3-point shots that I love to.
No,
So-
I don't. I certainly can't dunk. I mean, it just...
It looks like an amazing event. So people get to see some, some great playing.
yeah, it's a great
little
just
tricks
family day out. So
And we want everybody to turn up. Now, 5th of July, folks, there's only
Yes.
one show for the Harlem Globetrotters and you don't want to miss it because you may not see them again.
well, I mean... It'll be a few years.
They
No,
won't be
okay,
coming
yes.
back. You must come
you
to
must come. This is the only time.
Look, it's wonderful. There are other big events coming up. Now,
So
anything
many.
new at the arena that we need to know about now that you've opened fully? Is there any new dining options? Is everything open?
We have been working really hard on increasing the accessibility of the venue. So we've got a quiet room that's for anyone that's sort of experiencing sensory issues, if they're a little overwhelmed with the
Fantastic.
crowds. So that's opposite door 17 on level
I'll
1.
meet you there.
Yeah.
Do they have a bar in there?
Unfortunately
No.
not. No, there's a great light feature with like sort of fake fishes, but it's quite
I'm
entertaining.
busy that night washing my hair. No, look, it's wonderful that you're doing it. Look, there's parking at the venue.
Yes,
Tickets are
conveniently.
available.
Tickets-
If you want more information, the best place to go is to racarena.com.au. It's on the screen right now, racarena.com.au. You'll see not only those 5 events, but all the others that are coming up. Please support this fantastic arena because, if we don't support it, then you'll realise, what's the point of being open? Full capacity. We're very lucky in this country.
Let's enjoy
Let's
live
enjoy it.
entertainment again now that we're back at it.
Marika, love your choice of colour too. Matches beautifully with the set.
I do try, Fred, every time.
Well said. Thank you very much. Is there anything you're going to tease about something that's coming up in the future with Christmas coming up? Any big performers coming?
I don't know what
Not
we're
Justin
alluding
Bieber
to.
or anything like that?
I mean,
or-
we've got heaps on the cards, and it's
Michael
actually our 10th
Bublé.
anniversary this year. Michael Bublé is coming. He's announced.
Oh, really? When is that?
What? Where?
When-
RAC. Oh, I want to say the 3rd or 6th of December.
He will be coming, yeah.
December,
I saw it on
sometime.
your website. In December, Michael Bublé.
It comes out at Christmas. That's the only time he's coming out, right? Yeah.
New album.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Look, I'm going to enjoy coming back to the RAC Arena. We want everybody else to as well. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Hope to see you in about a month's time with more events.
Yeah, lots more.
And you support them as well at home because they do a great job here in Western Australia. It's our arena, RAC Arena. RAC do an amazing job and we want to support them as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. More of The Couch coming up right after this break. We're actually talking streaming with Paul Elwyn. Stick around. Welcome back to The Couch. Always nice to have Paul Elwyn back in the studio. This week, you're talking about streaming. Welcome back, Paul.
This is all my favourite stuff recently for 2022 in streaming. This is a treat because these are all... You want something new, and the whole thing is this is all recent new shows, brand spanking new, but they've all finished their run. So if you want to binge any of these right now, go for it because they're all on your various streaming platforms, but
so
also
they're finished. The whole lot.
Watch the whole lot, but these are all a treat, and it's a bit of variety. The first one we got is Moon Knight from Disney Plus. This one's kind of cool. It's the Marvel thing, but it seems a little bit more adult. What it is, we got Oscar Isaac, who was our Poe Dameron in Star Wars. He was also he's done the Marvel thing as Apocalypse. He's in this as actually several different characters that are all like combined together, and they're all mixed personalities. He's Mark Spector, but he's also Steve Grant. They're both kind of different people that are doing this thing where essentially he's also the age... He's also Khonshu, like a minion for Khonshu, this Egyptian god, and there's connections to Egyptian gods and such in this one. And he goes on crazy adventures, but he can't remember them. And then he switches characters, that sort of thing. This is 6 episodes of just crazy, chaotic fun.
Is it good?
A bit of action. It's a lot of fun because Oscar Isaac, he shifts accents and styles and such between these characters, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, also we've got Ethan Hawke as the bad guy in this, and check him out. He's pretty ominous and scary, but a real treat for Oscar Isaac fans in this one. So on Disney Plus, Moon Knight.
Our flag means death.
Our flag means death. Well, due to the whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing, I was sort of feeling a bit sad because I want to see some swashbuckling. Pirates of the Caribbean was cancelled, so the closest thing we got is through Binge. This one's 10 episodes on through Binge/Fox. I'm a big Flight of the Conchords fan, so we've got Rhys Darby from New Zealand, great comedian in this. This is actually kind of technically a true story of a character back in 1717. His name was Steve Bonner. He was a property owner, and he decided to become a swashbuckler. So he basically sold all of his property and bought a pirate ship, and he called the pirate ship the Revenge. This is really loosely based on it. He's playing the main character of Steve Bonner. The funny thing is, for all of you Flight of the Conchords, Taika Waititi fans, he's actually in this as Captain Blackbeard, and he cameos as Captain Blackbeard in this. It's pretty funny because the whole thing is he's not a pirate. He's like a property owner, a rich guy who wants to have adventures. So he's trying to explain to his new crew, his pirate friends, look, I don't have the credentials, but like we really should sort of, work as a team, have a bit of pirate synergy. So for you,
and Rhys Darby's quite good, isn't he?
He's hilarious. He also has a series on Binge where he travels to Japan and has adventures. So a lot of fun. Our flag means death.
The thing about Pam, now I've watched this, it started off thinking it was stupid, and then I realised it was real.
It's real, and it's like scary real. And if the more you look into it, she's actually been involved in like several
I think I've
murders.
worked with a lady like that.
Yeah. So Renee Zellweger, previously for previous roles, Bridget Jones, she has put on weight and lost weight, and then they said to her, that's actually not too good for you.
Yes.
So with this one, she works every... shoot was 80 minutes of prosthetics to make her look as the main character, Pam Happ. Pam Happ, very strange, very charming kind of suburban mum lady, but essentially tries to frame a workmate's husband in this murder.
Correct.
The more you look into it, though, she's actually been involved in several other murders chained to this. It's really strange. She's a very, it's a very strange, ominous kind of character, but like...
It's a different character to Bridget's Diaries, I will say that.
To anything she's played, really.
But like she does it well.
She does it really well, and it is kind of scary, because this is your average suburban kind of housewife.
The Thing About Pam is on 9 now.
Yes,
which,
so streaming on that.
You can stream it there.
Yep, that's
Now,
for free.
Outer Range, but on Amazon Prime.
Yep. So on Amazon Prime, we've got Outer Range. This is 8 episodes. This is just recently wrapped up. We've got the voice of Thanos himself, Josh Brolin, doing his gravelly kind of... Essentially, this is like Lost meets Yellowstone, a Western... possible sci-fi, like mystery. We are out in Wyoming. This property, this visitor drops by to sort of just stop by and camp, and he's trying to work out what's her story, why you're here. On his property, there's a really strange, huge hole in the ground. It's a weird teleportation void of some sort. It travels time. It goes to different places. There's some stuff oozing from it. When people are near it, they get visions. It's kind of strange, but it's kind of cool. He's got a neighbour, played by Will Patton, Wayne Tillerman, who wants the property. Why does he want the property? Does he know about this secret that he's hiding of this strange void that's in the property? So it's kind of cool. It's a bit of a mystery, a bit of sci-fi, and you got this whole Western element to it. So yeah, Outer Range.
Now a new one on Apple TV, Severance.
Yeah, so Apple TV. This one's getting a bit of buzz. Severance. We've got the main character in this is Adam Scott. What if your work life and your personal life were completely like disengaged from each other? They don't touch each other. You don't mention your home life at work and you don't mention your work at home life. What happens is he enters a elevator type box and it wipes his memory of what's happening between each world. So he goes to work and the work is quite secretive. They do coding, but they still don't know exactly what it is. He hops in the box, it just wipes his memory, and then he goes to his usual home life, and he doesn't talk about either. And everyone goes, isn't that weird? And he's like, no, I'm fine with it. But then more cracks start to appear when a new employee joins them. It's really cool. He's got a co-worker played by John Turturro who's kind of interesting. There he is. Patricia Arquette's his boss, and you're trying to work out what do they do, what's going on. He bumps into a co-worker, and the co-worker recognises him because you're not meant to recognise me from work. And there's a really cool cameo from Christopher Walken on this. This is on Apple TV. It's getting a lot of buzz, so it's called Severance.
And they're just 5 of what's on the streaming devices. Lots of them there.
Yep.
Good to see everything coming back to streaming as well.
There's heaps
Lots
of cool
new
stuff
as well. Paul, thank you very much.
Thanks, Fred.
Always love talking streaming to you. And you're back in a couple of weeks. We'll do movies as well. So
Yes,
thank you
new
very
movies.
much. We're going to take a break. Belinda Cipriano is coming in after the break, and we'll talk to her about what are the events that are coming up in Perth right after this. Welcome back. It's always nice to invite Belinda Cipriano back on the show. It's been a long break, hasn't it?
I think it's been, since November, October?
Every time I see you online, I have to say, your Instagram page, you're always in Broome or travelling in beautiful waters.
I know, right? Don't we like heading up north to Broome? I mean, that is one of my favourite places on earth. So,
and can I say you're looking good and refreshed and into a brand new year?
And can I say you too, Fred? I love what you're wearing. I did say I like the jacket. You are matching the background.
This thing.
Looking very fashion forward. Thank you very much.
We're both looking good. Now, we've got some events coming up. Now that Perth and WA and Australia is all open.
All open
We're
up.
all one
Open
country.
for business.
Let me go through some of the events. I'll prompt you with this one.
Yeah.
I can't contain myself. And
I know.
Always hard to get around your tongue around that word can't.
So it's the can't.
It starts this week and runs until July.
That's right. So we've got Can't Contain Myself, which is a mini museum. So it's containers, and they have gone to Yagan Square. So they're based out of Yagan Square, and they are done by Perth street artists. They will be there, like you said, until July, and they will be different themes every month. So May, there will be a theme. June, there will be a theme.
Different theme every month.
July.
And it's a family-friendly event.
And it is free, open daily, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it is, like you said, a family event. And I believe on the weekends there will be weekend family activities happening. So that is something, if you're an art lover.
Different.
Yeah. I'm imagining a container filled with very wacky, fun, creative art installations in there. So it
I
does
wonder if
sound...
there'll be a food container.
Well, wouldn't that be awesome? Who's doing the event?
Natalie
Nat Cameron?
Cameron.
Yeah, I wonder if there is. Nat,
I'll have to get
you'll
on
have
the
to
email.
listen.
That's a great event. And like I said, that runs from now until July.
July, that's right.
Kalamunda Garden Festival. Now, it's on from May the 22nd. What's that one all about?
So the Kalamunda Garden Festival. Are you a green thumb? Do you like... As he looks at his jacket.
I can be green. I voted green second at the election.
Same.
If that makes my preference to go
Same.
to the green.
But yeah, so for green thumbs, it is the Kalamunda Garden Festival happening on May 22nd, as you said. Now, there will be workshops, there will be demonstrations.
Guest speakers as well.
Yeah, so are you familiar with Costa Georgiades?
Yasu.
Yasu,
The one with
Greek.
the big beard?
Yeah, so he's...
Scary looking man. Lovely man, yes.
He's a lovely looking man.
I
So
think he's on the TV.
I say garden guru, but he's not part of the garden gurus as we know. But
he did
he's
his
a
own
garden
show
guru. Yeah,
on
yeah,
Channel
yeah.
31 for years, and then
That's
he moved to the
right.
ABC.
Yes. So that's him.
Vasili's Garden, wasn't it? Or is that a
I think
different
that's a different Greek. Maybe I'm not sure.
Lovely family they
Do you
are.
know that is? I swear to God, I would have. I should have been Greek in my.
I know.
I love Greek food, obsessed. But anyway, moving on. That is not what I'm talking about. So his events are ticketed. He's very much in demand. So if you want to go see Costa Talk during that event, you must book online. The rest of the event is free.
And Kalamunda is up in the hills.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, in the Perth Hills region.
And you will love it.
Oh, yeah. What?
It's called the Kalamunda Garden Festival
Correct.
on May 22nd.
That is correct.
So get into
Very
that.
good.
Now, this one's the Van Gogh Live, May 27th.
27th.
Now, do you say Van Gogh?
I say Van Gogh.
I
Do you
say Van
Gogh?
No, but look, I heard a guy on radio the other day. He
said Van Gogh.
He said it has to be Van Gogh. But
is
we
Van
all
Gogh.
Australians say Van Gogh all the time.
Oh, really? Oh, God. Well,
Yeah.
it is, I say Van Gogh Live, and it is coming to the Supreme Court Gardens on May 27, like you said. Now, this exhibition has been seen by 65 million people
Look at that.
worldwide. Now, it's an
This
immersion.
is an amazing thing, isn't it?
So you walk through, you hear it, and you see it, and you experience all the works of Vincent van Gogh. If you're an art lover, pop this on your
Is
calendar.
he the one that cut his ear off?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think so. I think
Abby,
he did.
she's an artist. She's told me our
she's
floor
saying
manager.
yes.
Yep.
So if you're a fan of Vincent van Gogh, I would not miss this. Tickets are $55 for adults and $44.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. I mean, I've heard very good things about this exhibition. So definitely pop this on your
To-do
list of
list.
things to do if you're interested in
Van
art.
Gogh Live, May 27, only
Correct.
one day.
Yep.
Now, this lady here, we all know her on Dancing with the Stars. She was amazing. She's a great comedian as well.
Wrong one.
Am I wrong again? Isn't this Celeste Barber?
Celeste Barber, she wasn't on Dancing with the Stars.
Wasn't she one of the winners on Dancing with the Stars?
No, that was another one. It wasn't Celeste. Celeste
I don't really like this lady, actually.
Celeste
No, look,
Barber.
she's funny. She's on that commercial with the dog, isn't she?
She could be, but she's the one that was made. Well, obviously, she's a well-known. She's an icon of Australian comedy.
Well,
really.
I know people that follow her on Instagram, and she does some stupid things. Is that her?
Well, she follows. Well, she does. She does the stupid
That's
things
her.
that the other people are doing.
That's the one.
That's what's really catapulted her. Like she copies all the celebrities and the influencers.
As you can see, I don't know who she is, but that's okay. Now, this show, the tour runs from May the 23rd and 24th.
And it's
Only
called
2
Fine
days.
Thanks, and
Yep.
it's coming to the Riverside Theatre. Look, if you're a fan of Celeste Barber, which
There she
I
is
am,
there.
you would definitely, she's incredible.
Is
Iconic.
she a bit rude on stage?
Hysterically funny, rude,
that's what we
all
need,
of that.
something
Yep.
funny.
Yep. And tickets are $91 and they go up to $132.
That's not bad.
2 nights only. I believe she's heading overseas after this tour. So if you want to see Celeste Barber in all her glory, go and book those tickets.
Thank you very much. Celeste Barber. Remember
Celeste
that.
Barber.
Celeste
Fine,
Barber.
thanks.
Now, Rag Pop-Up May 29. What's
Yes,
Rag Pop-Up all
Rag
about?
Pop-Up. So it's for all us fashionistas, so you and I, Fred, of course. So if we're
Rags to
looking...
riches.
Rags to riches. If we're looking for a beautiful garment to wear, a bunch of...
The Court Hotel, eh?
Yeah, at the Court Hotel. So they're bringing this pop-up show to the Court Hotel, and it is fashion designers, accessory designers and artists bringing their wares there. If you want to support local, definitely support this event. Again, it's a free event, and we love to see the word free.
Well, the 60 store holders going to be there. They support
That's
local and shop local designers as well,
Yep.
and businesses. There'll also be awesome food and drink.
Well, have you had a meal at the court? Now,
I haven't, but I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah, the food and the drinks are always fun, and there'll be a DJ. And what better way to spend a day than shopping, having something to eat, having something to drink, and then a boogie at the court.
And
One
have
of my
I
favourite
misread?
places.
The tickets are free.
It's free, absolutely. All you do is buy, whatever you want to buy. If you're looking for a gift for yourself or for
What a
somebody
wonderful
else.
idea.
Yeah, so it's called the Rag Pop-Up there at the court.
Hotel, and that's May 29 for those people
May
who are
29,
just
that's
about
right.
ready to go online.
Yep.
Pinjarra Festival, now that runs from June the 4th to the 5th. That's only 2 days.
Yeah, so that's the WA Day long weekend down there at the Pinjarra Festival. So they're having live acts, they've got food trucks, they've got a wine tasting shed, and that is where you will find me. They've also got a wood chopping shed that's
Are
having...
you working there, are you?
But I think that's where you'll find me. So pack a
You'll be
picnic.
serving yourself drinks.
Grab your family and go down there for WA Day long weekend.
Yep.
I mean, what a fun time.
Oh, look, there's going to be 100 market stalls, wine tasting that you're going to be
Yep.
taking, wood turning after the wine
yes,
tasting,
that's right. Can you
demonstrations and food trucks as well. You know what? The southwest or that area,
Yeah.
Pinjarra, Mandurah, beautiful areas,
Beautiful.
and people will love it because you know what you do? You go down to Pinjarra, go to Mandurah, maybe go down to Bustleton or Bunbury
Absolutely.
and spend a couple of days down there.
And
It's
that's
wonderful.
what WA Day is all about. The WA Day weekend is all about experiencing everything in WA. So
Last
why not do
event.
that? Oh, well, I couldn't come back here and not mention
The WA Portuguese Citizen of the Year Awards,
Yes.
May the 21st. Congratulations, are you the winner?
No, I'm
Oh.
not. No, I'm not. But anyway, it is a 3-course meal
Yep.
for $50. There's entertainment. We've got entertainers coming over from Sydney who are performing our traditional fado. We also have the Wadumba Noongar dance group
Yep.
who are doing a special performance. We've also got a guy named Ricardo Madeira who is a local performer, and I believe Rocky is a big fan of. He's tried to get him on the show
I was going to
before.
say, is Rocky performing?
No, Rocky's not. But Rocky knows Ricardo, and
There you go, it's
he's
a
a big
shame.
fan of him. So, and of course, we're crowning the WA Portuguese Citizen of the Year award.
Are you in the running this year?
I'm not in the running, but I am emceeing the event, so it will be
And
a fun.
I tell you what, I bet you they're going to have those little tarts.
Oh, you love those
with
tarts,
the
don't you?
custard
The
thing in them.
Portuguese tarts.
Oh.
There'll definitely be Portuguese chicken on the menu,
Oh,
and
they're
they'll
beautiful too,
yeah.
like a Porto type chicken.
Yeah, and bacala.
Bacala. Do they still do the?
Yes, they
where
do.
is the Portuguese club now? Is it still in the same?
It's still in Fremantle. Yes,
So it's
it
still
is.
in the same
Yeah,
building?
It certainly is.
Oh,
yeah.
look! I tell you what, folks. They used to do it on the first Friday of every month,
And they still do, Fred.
and I love it.
Yeah.
I've been to about nine or 10
wow.
times.
You'll have to come with me.
They do the bacala with chickpeas,
Yep.
salad, olives, all that type of
Yep.
thing. Then you get the beautiful
The meat on the spit.
meat on the
Yeah.
spears, and it's beautifully cooked. And then you also get bread, and then they've got the dessert,
salads
which you have to
and,
pay
yeah.
for extra.
Yep.
But I tell you what, I think we only pay about $25.
You're right. Spot on. Well
So when
done.
is it again? When are we going?
So we'll go. I think we'll wait until June now. But
Yep.
yeah, this one is
Please
May
support the local
21st.
community. I think
Absolutely.
the Portuguese community are beautiful people.
We are.
You know you are. And she wants to be nominated for Citizen of the Year next year.
No,
next
not
year.
at all. Not
well, you
at
can
all.
nominate me. I don't
Yeah,
care
yeah,
if I'm
well,
Italian.
Look, I'm going to bring you around. We're
Thank
going
you.
to go and have that
I look forward to it.
bacalao night on Friday
Lovely
night.
to see all these events coming up. We're going
Yes.
to see you more often.
Yes, you will.
Hopefully now that COVID is gone and done and dusted.
Okay.
Belinda Cipriano, thank you for being here today. Now, if people want to get in touch with Belinda, there's your
Yep.
email address. It is, can I say website?
Yeah, my
BelindaCipriano.com, and you can get in contact with her if you want her at one of your events.
Happy to.
Maybe you want to plug one of your events. Write
Let
to
me know.
Belinda and she'll get you on the show.
Sounds good, Fred.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much.
Thank you. Thanks
Time
for
to
having
take a break from Belinda. No Celeste Barber coming in, but we've got Chris, Nat and Ted. Oh, I think I might go home now. We'll see you right after the break for Bitchin'.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome back to The Couch. It's always nice to have guests from Millennium Kids in. Now, we haven't seen them since the pandemic, but they're still doing amazing work when it comes to the environment and climate change. Today, we've got an amazing young guy. He's won many awards. He's working on more than 5 different organisations, but today we're talking Millennium Kids, climate change, and he's a youth advocate. His name is Troy Wood. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about Troy Wood.
I'm someone who likes to always speak their mind, stand up for what's right, and make change in where I can, and bring other people with me.
Now, Troy, you're only 16, which is amazing. You're a youth advocate for more than 5 organisations. Tell me the ones that you work with at the moment.
So I work with SHQ, Sexual Health Quarters, YPN, the Youth Pride Network, Millennium Kids, I work with Yakwa and Headspace.
Fantastic organisation. They do amazing work in the community. Now, did you pick these because you think they're quite topical with kids and quite you can assimilate with those because you're finding that they do a lot of work in the community and kids are finding that they need their help?
Yeah, definitely. So I chose those organisations because they were doing such work close to me and ones that I really wanted to drive change in. And when the ads came out, I applied and celebrated winning or getting in, I guess.
So as a 16-year-old, you cop a lot of flack for being into the environment and climate change.
Oh, yeah.
From adults especially?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
How do you handle that?
Oh, well, I get the odd socialist or tree hugger here and there, but I just know that...
You're a green.
Yeah. I just know that the change that I'm making is worth it and that I get to do really cool things, so...
Have you had, talking about cool things, I know you've won a couple of awards working in the community. Can you tell me about those awards?
Yeah, so I won 2 awards through my school, the ADF Longtan Leadership Award and the Citizen Award. And those were given to me for my advocacy work and work within the community to improve different community outlooks. And I also was a finalist for the 2022 Youth Citizen Award for the City of Karratha.
Well done. Congratulations on those awards. And I can tell that you're very passionate about the environment and also climate change. Is it a hard thing being so passionate about something that so many of us as adults don't quite understand?
Well, education is a part of advocating, so I never get angry about people for not knowing things because we need to work together in a way that everyone can understand, no one feels like they're left out of the conversation, and then work together with wherever people are to achieve a difference.
So tell me about your work with Millennium Kids. What are you doing with them at the moment?
So I'm on their youth board and their youth steering group for Citizens Assembly, and I'm trying to start up a podcast for them because young people are now listening to podcasts and we want to be able to...
That's all they listen to, which is amazing because it is true.
Yeah, and I want to do that, to get people on through Millennium Kids and talk about what we're doing in those specific areas. Yeah.
And has that been a hard thing to establish, or do you have a group? I know with Millennium Kids, a lot of people don't know, but a lot of the management of what you guys do comes from a group of people your age and younger as well. I know Kat is the senior person that manages the organisation, making sure all the legal stuff's done. But do you work with a group of young people?
Yeah, so each project we usually have a group of young people who've put their hand up or said, hey, I really want to go for this. So we had someone in Rockingham who was really concerned about the penguin population. She's championing that. And then the youth board can help her out with that, and she can go to her fellow young people.
So you give them support and you look up information and you try and get all the legal stuff done.
Yeah.
What are some of the projects that you'd love to get involved with in the future? What are you working on?
So we have Amelia. She's one of our youth board members who's currently working in Europe, and she's going to a UN conference about young people and change. So hopefully one day that we would be such a big organisation that we could go to things like that and have multiple people go.
Now, we may have a change of government. Is there something that you would like to say to the future government of Australia, regardless of whether it's the existing or the new one?
Yeah.
What would you say to the Prime Minister of this country? What do they need to do?
Listen to young people and make sure that the future of our country is well established and can run this country in a way that will create a better future for all.
Do you think adults take climate change serious, or do you think we say we do, but we don't? Our actions don't speak as loud as what we should be doing? Yeah,
so I definitely think in the politics-wise that there are a lack of actions, and I think that the more actions that we do collaboratively as a community, as politicians do and corporate workplaces do. We can make change, and I think that we just need to educate each other and work collaboratively to make change.
And what are the things that drive you? What are the passionate things that you love about climate change or the environment? What are the pet hates or likes?
So I lived in Mandurah for most of my life, and the Peel Harvey catchment area is so amazing, and seeing the wetlands there and everything that's happening, the biodiversity of it, just is so amazing. And if I was to lose that and not let other generations see it, would be such a missed opportunity. It would make me so upset.
Fantastic. Look, I think your youth advocacy is going to be vital for Millennium Kids. I think you're going to do an amazing job. Was there anything else you wanted to say that we haven't covered today?
Yeah, if any young person is watching now, we're partnering with the City of Canning to give out grants for really cool ideas within the City of Canning and outside. So definitely check us out.
So how's that going to work? Tell me about these grants.
Yeah, so we are in June is when they're going to be looked at. We have grants for $500 and $1,000.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So is this for kids to come up with activities or projects to help the environment or climate, and they can apply to Millennium Kids for those grants? Now you're saying there's $500 or up to $1,000?
Yep.
They can apply for those grants. Obviously those projects have to be something you deem as being essential.
Yep.
And could work.
Definitely, and any project, as long as you're passionate about and will help the environment, any idea would be amazing.
Well, it sounds like you've got a life ahead of you in politics as well, maybe for the Greens. But look, thank you for coming in today. It's nice to see young people actually being proactive. We hear a lot of negative stuff about young people on the news every night, riding their e-scooters into walls and things like that, jumping off building sites. But it's nice to know that young people also take an interest in the environment, and you're leading us older people in the right direction as well. Now, Millennium Kids are a wonderful organisation. If people want more information, look into camera too and tell me where they can go.
You can go to millenniumkids.com.au or go to the Millennium Kids Facebook or Instagram pages.
Now, is there anything you're going to be working on in the next few weeks?
Yep, so that City of Canning grants that we're going to be doing, definitely check us out there and come to us with any idea that you have about the environment.
Well said. Thank you very much. Troy Wood, I'm sure we're going to see him a lot more times on the set here. A fantastic voice for climate change. And I think we'll probably see him a few more times. Thanks to Millennium Kids. Now, earlier on today, we had Rochelle O'Brien perform her brand new song called Freedom. She's actually centre stage. That's what she's doing. She's been sitting there for the whole show waiting for me to talk to her. Rochelle, tell me a little bit about yourself as a music artist.
I am Rochelle O'Reilly. I'm a musician and a nurse and a mother and a fun person, I guess, a songwriter.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been singing and writing music?
I've been performing my whole life, but on a professional level in the last 12 years. And in saying that, I did have quite a long break, and it's been really in the last year and a half that I've given it my everything.
Fantastic. Now, you've come up with a brand new song, which I absolutely love, and I hope you get a lot of airplay on the radio. It's called Freedom. Tell me how that came about.
Freedom has been an amazing song. I wrote it actually after having a family dispute, and it was really at the time trying to find the freedom and find out what was going on in a situation from everybody's point of view, and then realising that actually freedom comes from in here.
Along with the fantastic lyrics, you've got a great clip as well for this fantastic song, Freedom. Tell me how you came about to recording the clip and where you recorded it.
Freedom, I recorded it in the woods of Gosnells, and also at a community event, a church where they do a morning tea with homeless people. I had all my children in the video. I had Indigenous dancers, the Mid-and-Mar Dreaming Group, and a dance instructor. Really, I wanted to give the message of freedom and being outside and being free, but also doing it in my own backyard. And the Indigenous part of it was that I wanted to respect the land that has given me so much opportunity and to really bring it back and pay my respects.
As you say, Indigenous culture is very important to you. Tell me what it means in the clip.
It's basically about respect, to this country for everything it's done for me. It's respect to the people, and that they should have more of a voice in this country than they do. And I believe that they should be put on a pedestal, and in many ways, but the actual traditional dance as well changed me. To see it live and to see the dirt being lifted off the ground and to see the way they acted with nature was a really beautiful thing.
Thank you very much, Rochelle. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration that you use to get to your music, to write your music.
Oh, this is a good question. I think that it's taken me quite a few years to figure out my purpose in music. Like many times I've said, why am I doing this? You know, I started out thinking, oh, I'm a writer. I've got these great songs. This is amazing. And then doing bands and then, you know, going through breakdowns in the bands and then keeping going and then asking myself again, and then realising it's really hard work and then saying, why am I doing this? But since I wrote Freedom, Ugly Duckling, Universal Love a few years ago, like I know that my purpose is to bring a positive message.
From here, where would you like your music to go?
I am taking my music wherever it wants to go. I want to play in festivals, I want to play in community events, and I just want to play it wherever I can.
Now, can Perth people see you performing around the town?
I'm working all the time on my music. I've been playing at the Bar Orient in Fremantle, and I have an event on June the 3rd, a reggae event that I'm doing at Clancy's Fish Pub, June the 3rd, with a salsa band supporting me. And also I'll be at the Allington Jazz Club on my birthday, September the 27th.
For those people who want more information about your music, where do they get it?
I will be selling the CD on the 27th of September at the Allington Jazz Club. That's something I'm working on, but for now I've just done the online, easy to access for everybody that wants to just put it in their playlist.
That's great. And tell us how we get more information about you, Rochelle.
You can find me on RochelleO'Reilly.com, my website, and also Facebook is great, and Instagram, because I'm constantly posting about what I'm doing, where I'm playing, and just my little thoughts and adventures along the way.
Now, a lot of kids will be looking at you today performing on the show and probably using you as a bit of inspiration. What's your advice to young performers, singers for the future?
I say work hard, believe in it, do it, and try as many things possible in it as you can. Even if you want to be a singer, but you get an opportunity to just play the piano, something you might not want to do, but you never know where that might get you. So just whatever opportunity comes along, anything, do it.
Rochelle, all the best of luck with your new song, Freedom. We look forward to having more of your music on the show, and we'll check out Spotify and help you with your music as well by buying the songs. Thanks again for being on the show.
I'd just like to say thank you so much for having me here today, and I hope to see you again.
It's nice to have you on the show, and we look forward to having you back very, very soon. Time now on the couch to introduce another one of our fantastic friends. Natalie Foster's back. With her is our very own Nisha Seth, and we're talking about a fantastic treat for pets, Australian-made, and it's called Zami Pet. Over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Fred. Welcome, Nat.
Thank you.
And Nat, you're a well-respected lady in the industry for a lot of different reasons, but one is your work with pets with RSPCA, but also, and I'll get you to, this is Mogwai.
This is Mogwai.
Little friends. Hello, Mogwai.
She was a rescue from the RSPCA when I worked there, and somehow she never left my house.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but she was just having a little slide down my little notepad here, so introduce her first. But
such a drama queen.
After years and years of experience in the industry, you've teamed up with Zami Pet, which is important because I know you said to me earlier you wouldn't team up with anyone that doesn't obviously respectfully follow, you know, I guess your understanding of what's important for pets.
Absolutely.
Tell us a bit about Zami Pet.
So Zami Pet is an Australian company which is fantastic. Its mother company is Zamira, which has been around for about 15 years. And last July they decided to concentrate on Zami Pet and launch Zami Pet, which is a supplement for dogs. So at the moment, just on the dogs. Look, see? She's had some relax and calm. She's fine now. So yeah, what it is it's formulated by an Australian vet. All the proteins are sourced here in Australia. It's made in Australia, made over in Victoria. Money back guarantee. If the dog doesn't like it, there's a full palatability. But every dog needs some sort of help along the way. I mean, we've got 5 million dogs owned in Australia. And out of those dogs, you're looking at about 40% of those people actually have a dog in their household. So 40% of homes have a dog. And then you've got issues with anxiety. 70% of dogs suffer from anxiety. And about 20% of dogs actually suffer from issues with joints. So little Mogwai here is prime candidate. She's 13 years old and she's got disc problems. She's got a bit of osteo as well. So you wouldn't know it, she's 13, over 13 now, and she's on Joint Protect, among other things as well. But the nice thing about it is, Fred's got it right there. So what they are is they're actually a supplement. So, of course, people take supplements all the time to make us feel better. And this is what's actually designed specifically for dogs. So if you have a little look at that, they are chews. They're highly palatable. The dogs love them. Fred, here's what they actually look like. And you can actually break those up. So obviously with a little tacker like Mogwai, she doesn't need a full one. Yeah. So you can actually break it up like so.
Yeah, look.
So nice and tiny. So every morning, Moggy gets a quarter of one of these, whereas my golden retriever, he gets 2 of these. And what it's got in it, it's got glucosamine in it, chondroitin, which is for the cartilage. It's also got MSM, which takes down the inflammation, and something called hyaluronic acid, which you may have heard about in the health industry. That lubricates the joints. So it's a fantastic product. This is one of our biggest sellers, is the Joint Protect. But we were talking about dogs with anxiety. Yes. So probably our biggest seller there is Relax and Calm. So out of all our sales, probably half our sales actually come from Relax and Calm. So it's got L-tryptophan in there, which actually converts in your body to serotonin, which is the feel-good drug.
Nice. And did I hear it was 70% of all dogs?
70% of dogs owned in Australia suffer from anxiety. So which is, horrific, especially I think with the pandemic. People going back to work. Obviously, they want to do something to take away that issue. So you've got tryptophan in there, which a lot of supplements do have, but you've also got things like chamomile, you've got L-theanine, they're all calming ingredients, and you've got also valerian root, which is nice. It'll calm the dogs down. It doesn't make them dozy. It just calms them down.
What about some of us, our senior moments, our memory problems? Our pets are very much like us, right? That's another part of your supplement
Absolutely.
range.
Yeah? Dogs suffer from something called canine cognitive dysfunction, okay? So Moggy does have a little bit of that. We call it doggy dementia. So if you've got a dog sort of in the last third of life and they're walking into a room, and this actually sums me up, you walk into a room and then you forget what you're actually in that room for, and you're kind of looking at the wall and you're like, what did I come in the room for? Dogs do the same thing.
I do think in the fridge, same thing.
Exactly. So maybe you're suffering from a little bit of doggy dementia. So
I'll get those tablets.
There's nothing on the market, but that one up the end there, Fred, is the senior support.
Knock and touch, right?
So
senior
that
support,
actually it slows down the ageing process. It won't stop it, because I'd be gulping them down if it did, and it's not going to revert it. So I'm not going to give it to Moggy and she's going to turn into a puppy, but it will slow down the process, because it actually helps the brain, the messages get through in the brain. So that's what's happening when dogs are like, the messages aren't going through. So we've got something in the senior support called phosphatidylserine. I'm going to quiz you on that later, but that actually helps the brain cells.
Good, excellent. What else do we have in that supplement range?
You've got the skin coat nails. So if anybody's got itchy, scratchy dogs, in particular if you've got the staffies and they're just, West Highland Terriers, Shar-Peis, real issue with skin problems, try the skin coat nails. There's so much good stuff in there. We've also got the Maltese, which has got inulin, which has got a prebiotic in there, so feeding the good gut bacteria. Also a line for the puppies as well. So if you're getting a puppy into the family, it's so hard bringing a new puppy in. They're going through a lot of stress in their life, and the actual energy in the body is concentrating on the stress instead of actually growing and forming into new puppies. The treats have just been launched. So you can go online, you can actually order Zami Pet online, zamipet.com.au. You can also get them from Pet Stock, Pet Barn and most city farmers and some of the independent pet retailers as well. Wonderful. But if you look at the happy treats, they've just been launched. So that they haven't got, we have actually been giving her the Relax and Calm, which they're quite large. So these are great for training dogs because she can break them up and you relax them at the same time. So you can see they're only quite small, but they're nice and soft that you can break them up.
Looks
so
like
for
licorice.
Would you like to try some? Go on.
That'd be good for the AMA. We don't like that.
I don't think it says for human consumption.
No. Better play by the rules.
But
And parents, please say to the kids not to eat them.
no, don't eat them.
No eating by humans.
Unless they're the furry kids. But you can get these online as well. They've just been launched. So they do have active ingredients like the supplements, but obviously the concentration levels of the active ingredients is higher, and you've got more of those active ingredients in the actual supplement range.
Okay, great. So the supplements and treats obviously keep your dog proactive and well. Where can people find out more?
You can go online to zamipet.com.au. You can check out your local pet stock, should have them, Pet Barn, City Farmers, as I say. There's some other retailers as well. But you can actually join, we've got a subscription, you can actually join Zami Pet online and you get special offers and stuff as well. And it gets delivered to your door if you spend over $49. And also you've got that palatability claim. So if the dog doesn't like them, which is hard to believe any dog wouldn't like them. If they don't like them, bring that.
Magwai, what do you think?
I love them. I love them so very much.
That wasn't me. But give it a go. It's actually nice to work for a company. It's a small company. It's Australian, formulated in Australia by Australian vets, and all the proteins are sourced from Australia. So to get me away from the RSPCA and the other jobs I've had, it took some doing, but Zami Pet did it. So loving working for them.
Well, Nat, you're very credible to be speaking on behalf of Zami Pet. We thank you so much for coming on the couch again. You're obviously a good and old friend of the couch. So
less of the old. Past the senior support.
But we'll look forward to hearing more about how you're going in the near future, and you'll be on many other segments, I'm sure, so everyone will keep seeing you.
Brilliant. And we're also going to do a bit of a giveaway on this one too, aren't we?
Good.
So if you contact Fred, you've got your...
Well, what we'll do, we want people to SMS us.
Yes.
0439 929 929. The code name needs to be exactly the name of this company, which is Zami Pet. Zami Pet. Get it right, name and address. What are we going to give them?
Well, I think we'll give them a bit of a mixture, won't we? I think we'll give them a tub of whichever one that they want to try.
Yep.
And then we'll give them some treats as well. And we've got little sample packs down here as well. So I think we maybe 2 or 3. Let's go wild.
Do it now.
Let's
0439 929 929. Give us your name and address and put the code word. Has to be Zami Pet, because if you didn't get the name, then there's no point getting the products. Thank you very much to Nisha. Thank you to Nat. And can I just say, I've known Nat for so many years, and I know she was a fantastic inspector. She was also in the adoption section of the RSPCA. Nobody adopted her, so she moved. But look, she's a wonderful spokesperson and ambassador for this product. And it's Australian owned, it's Australian made. It's great. Your pets will love it. Get it for them now. zamipet.com.au. Thank you to Nat. Thank you to...
Mongwai gives it a 10 out of 10.
I love it.
I've never seen Mongwai be more relaxed. Such a relaxed dog. Maybe we gave her 1 or 2 too many, but that's okay. We'll take a break. More of the couch next.
Connect with the couch online through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Welcome back to Bitchin' for another fortnight here on the couch. Let me introduce our fantastic panel today. Over on the right-hand side of set, we've got Chris Ilsley, broadcaster, politician's best friend, and hopefully a Labor supporter.
Best friend?
Well,
Jeez, I don't think I've been called anyone's best friend. Thank you for that, Fred.
You're welcome.
I'm most enthusiastic.
Nat Foster, of course, working for Zami Pet these days, but she's also a broadcaster from the past. You can never take the broadcast out of the lady. Well done. Sure. And the man that just broadcasts all the time, Ted Boo, it's nice to have you back.
Well, he lives. I survived.
Well, I'm glad you are.
I got the plague,
yep,
but survived.
And it's fantastic.
Thank God, and I mean that, for the vaccination.
You must realise we are all here for one simple reason. Our ancestors survived the bubonic plague.
True.
If they hadn't, we wouldn't be here. So when the cart man was going out, bring out your dead, well, our ancestors weren't the dead, they were bringing out the dead.
And do you know why? Because our ancestors were the nobility, and the nobility was smart enough to go and self-isolate.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'm getting traces of last week with Steve Collins.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here
Like last week. Now,
No.
Ted, welcome
No.
back. Now, you've got a great story. The host grossed out by Star's toothbrush confession. Of course, we're talking about the lady on the project called Kate Langbrook. She made a little bit. Tell me what she talked about.
Well, I was absolutely amazed, shattered and knocked off my stool when I heard this story that she told on television. They brought up toothbrushes, and she said they have a toothbrush at their household, a single toothbrush that the entire family uses, probably even their dogs and cats as well.
No.
I don't know, but Jules and I have been married.
Grossed out.
Yep, so go on.
Jules and I have been married for 40 years, and we've always had our own toothbrush, different colours.
It's a hygiene thing.
Well, it's sort of like the toothbrush is a fascinating implement, and historically the Chinese invented it by getting a little bone, which they use from an offcut from
Is that
their
what they call it?
yeah, a little offcut, and what they do, they'd shove in Siberian hog bristles in the toothbrush.
Really?
And that's how they clean their teeth.
So let's ask the panel, would you ever share a toothbrush with your partner or family?
I don't
No?
brush my teeth.
No, that's good. You don't have to worry
No,
about
I would never. And you know when you get romantic with somebody and then the next morning you wake up and you've got to do your teeth. I couldn't.
No,
I couldn't.
I don't think I could. I think the hygiene side of it. I mean, I still use the car wash drive-through for my teeth. You know?
Well, do you know, also in the olden days,
Do you auto wash or the do-it-yourself
The
wash?
$15 one without the gloss.
Well, they
But
used to
quick
use
dry.
soot and rags
Yes, yeah.
to do their teeth.
Isn't it
Soot.
funny? Bicarbonate powder works as well if you want them to
Really?
be white.
Would you do it? Would you use?
no. Yeah.
I thought your story was going to be about somebody's broken into a house and used the tooth.
Well, you've seen what they do when they break. There was one
Yes,
story
they
where they
put it in
stuck
the
it up their
toilet.
bum. Now, the person swiveled it around their bum.
Would you not notice that though?
No,
Oh, I reckon that would be just a shade uncomfortable.
I tell you what,
smart, isn't
it
it?
would have been very uncomfortable. But you know what? Thieves do these sort of things. So whenever you leave your
they
house, put
really?
the
Yeah.
toothbrush.
Take the batteries out of your electric toothbrush.
Just
Just
take it
imagine
with
what
you.
they do with an electric toothbrush.
Take it with you. But interesting story.
PCR test.
Now, enough.
Got some wings.
We all agree. We all agree we would not share toothbrushes. Thank you,
No.
Ted.
Why would
Now,
anyone do it? Ugh.
because I think they want to save money, I guess. But calling a man bald at work. We've never done it. I must admit, I've never called anyone anything at work. But you could face sexual harassment and discrimination payouts.
Well, apparently this is happening in the UK as we speak. So there's 3 judges, who are all bald, by the way, have ruled that if you call a man bald, that is classed as sexual harassment. And it's been likened, get this, you're going to love this, to calling a man commenting on a woman's breast size, which I. Really?
We're getting too sensitive.
Hang on a second.
So, but there's a fella, he's worked for the company for 24 years, right? And he was recently sacked. I'm sure that's not why he took them to the tribunal. He's been there The supervisor actually called him a bold... I won't say what he said back in 2019. I won't say what he said because I'm a lady, but you can take a punt at what the C word was. But that's what he was bothered by, the word bald, and he's taken it to the tribunal, and now these judges have said, yes, it's sexual harassment.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Now, I have a monkey's bum, which is that bald patch there. That's
Like
a monkey's
right
bum.
Yes.
Now, if someone said, Ted Bull, you have a monkey's bum, would that be harassment or just
No, it'd be
part?
come on.
A bit.
And if I start touching it...
The way they're going now, you said it's called a monkey's bum?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be bestiality, wouldn't
That's
it?
it.
Bestiality.
Hasn't
But
it been...
it's for female. It's for men only, they said, because females don't suffer, and I'm not even going anywhere near the Pinkett Smiths,
Will Smith's
because in
wife.
case somebody comes up here and slaps me. But apparently that's why they've said it, because it happens predominantly with men. That's why it's sexual harassment. But I don't.
But hang on,
I don't
look,
see
I don't
how
see
that's
the
an
point of it.
insult.
Unless a guy's gay, let's assume the guys who are talking are straight. There's no way that it might be a derogatory comment, but it certainly isn't a sexual
Why would a
comment.
gay person call someone bald anyway?
No, you
And are we
wouldn't.
talking about body hair? Because I know a lot of bald men that have a lot of body hair.
thought of something.
Yeah.
The
Never thought of that.
Oscars
Thank you
this
for the
year.
Yes. Is there any
And what
bald
happened
people?
there with a bald woman and her husband who wasn't happy with the comments made by the comedian, and he got up and gave him a smack in the jaw.
And he told him to keep his damn comments to himself.
yeah.
Look, it's interesting. Now, I think we're getting too precious. I think political correctness is going, we've always said, it's going too far. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm fat. if someone says
So
to me,
am I.
but if someone says to me at work, "You're fat," then I would say, "Well, you know what? I find that a little bit derogative, because how does that affect my work?"
Yeah.
And if you're friends with people, they wouldn't say it to you. So I think to myself, if someone said, "Oh, you're bald," I'd say, "Yeah, you're ugly," or you know, you're ugly. But do you know what I mean?
Use your wife's
Bald
toothbrush.
to me, I don't find that offensive. Even if someone said, "Oh, you're receding," or "Your hair's falling out," I think unless you've got a medical condition,
like alopecia,
you might take offence. But are we protecting the whole world based on very small
Well,
percentages?
85% of men, by the time they reach 50, have had a thinning hair experience.
Yeah.
So this fella's now he's going to get a payout.
Correct.
Hopefully it'll be enough. Hopefully it'll be enough to go to Advanced Hair Solutions. But
I knew you were going
Did
there.
you like that?
I
Can we
did,
say
yeah.
there's
But
no
I still
offence.
reckon that's a con.
And we don't mean any offence to anyone that has got a medical condition and losing their hair.
Oh, no.
We get it's a big deal to people, but we're just
And
saying
look,
this
can
is
I just say,
ridiculous.
as a woman, like the Jason Stathams
Yep.
of the world
Yep.
and the Bruce Willis of the world, I think it's sexy as
Did I
heck.
tell you I was about to shave my hair off for
Really?
the show today?
That would do it for me. It's like
I don't know why people get offended. When I was just 18, there was a girl I wanted to take out, and we'd been getting on really well, and so I thought, as I wasn't the bravest bloke in the world, I thought, we've now gone down this path that I can actually ask the question. So I asked her if she'd like to go out. And she looked at me, a bit like the female lead in the sci-fi horror who first sees the hideous,
Friday the 13th.
multi-toothed alien creature, and she says, "You want to go out with me?" And it's one of those moments when you think this is about to go horribly pear-shaped. Wow. And it did. And she looked at me and she said, with a look of complete and pure horror on her face, and she said, "Oh my God, am I that ugly?"
And you married the woman?
No, God, no.
how many kids did you have?
You know what?
Truly, but that was with another
18-year-old.
one.
But Chris, can we move on to yours? They're telling me we've run out of time
yes,
for that one.
speaking about that, yes,
tell us about
double-
sleeping in separate beds. Obviously, you
Well,
do it and you're happy.
No. I actually think no. But apparently a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And when it comes up as a discussion, people feel guilty if they do. They don't want to say they do.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of more people do it than used to do it, and
For
it
many
became
reasons.
fashionable in the 1950s to sleep together. And I suspect that before that, people didn't sleep together because they were worried that people would have impure thoughts.
Well, the Queen sleeps in her own bed on her own.
Yeah,
I saw that in a couple of movies where they portrayed her as her husband
Sleeping
gives
by herself?
Well, the husband gives her a kiss.
a couple of times I think the old Duke knocked on the door and came a visiting.
There was one
four.
you're talking about-
Yeah, four.
You're talking
Don't
about the
forget
one
Anne.
through the window as well. But
Yeah.
no, why do you think, Chris, that it's okay for people to sleep separate?
Oh, look, I'm guessing that there might be medical reasons. It might have the case
Snoring?
where you got snoring and stuff like that. Personally, I would hate it, but it used to be fashionable, and I suspect a lot of that was religious. They didn't want people having impure thoughts. Well, they still were. That's how we were procreating. And it wasn't until later that it became fashionable for people to sleep together. But apparently, a lot of people now would actually like to do that, but they feel guilty about it. So when they hear of others who are doing it, they think, oh, it's a good thing.
They reckon sex is great, the article says, but have
Well,
you
if
ever...
you're sleeping in separate beds, yeah, I can understand that.
Well, they're saying...
Sex is great when you're on your own.
Sex would be
have you
wonderful. You
ever-
just go out and get it from someone else.
Have you
You've
ever...
got it on hand.
Have you ever starfished in your own bed for 8 hours
beg your
solid?
pardon?
What's starfished?
Starfish, I think when you spread out.
Yes, you leave.
Not chocolate.
You know when you
not
do
chocolate starfish.
You do the
just
jet star
starfish.
thing.
Yeah.
The whole
You're
jet
evil.
star thing. Anyway.
You are evil, Natalie.
So can I ask, do all of you sleep with your partners?
Yes, of course.
I literally sleep, I mean.
But I have to say that I am a snorer, and in the middle of the night, sometimes I feel this hand touch my shoulder. I think, "Oh, it's 77. What's going on here?"
You're having
and
those
then that
dreams again.
hand that's attached to it says, "You're snoring. Roll over."
It always happens, and then you
And
wake
not
up.
in that direction.
See,
that way.
I have 4 in the bed, and the little one said roll over.
Yeah.
So my partner and I, obviously, but I haven't slept very close to my partner in many years because we've got 2 small dogs.
Oh, 2 small
Two
dogs.
small dogs, the big dog's down on the floor, and they snore because they're brachiocephalic dogs, which means they've got squashed in faces. They snore more than any human I've ever known.
What's that word again?
Brachiocephalic.
And you don't-
So I'll say to Jules, I have brachiophallus.
Oh,
Just say
really?
you're brachiocephalic.
Oh, cephalic.
Just say your
not
face is
brachiophallus. That's wrong,
No,
Ted.
that's something completely
Brachiocephalic.
different.
You could always just say your face is bashed in.
Fantastic, guys. On that note, we're just about finished.
Yes.
Can I ask your opinions? with the election, when we record this program, we're about a week apart with the election. When it goes to air, it's right after the election. But can I just ask you all, how do you think the election, the 6 weeks have gone, and how do you think it's going to go? Because when we watch this back, we're going to say, Nostradamus, you were right.
Oh, yeah.
Can I ask you first, Ted?
Okay, I think the 6 weeks have been fascinating. I've hated the gotcha questions to both people.
Yep.
I just, that to me it just demeans journalism.
Interviewer than the interviewee anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I've hated that.
Yep.
I've found it fascinating how the Prime Minister is now using this other tact where I know you don't like me, but
you need me.
You need me. And I find that interesting. I like Albo because I feel he's honest.
Who do you reckon's going to win? Are you willing to say Labor?
I would not be surprised if it's a hung parliament because those so-called teals, which is a term I hate,
may form Labor.
I just think it may be...
What does teal stand for? That's done. I've been doing my head in.
It's that colour there.
Yeah, it's a colour that came about by...
So it's basically saying you don't know what colour their politics are.
Let's move quickly because I know we're out of time.
They're teal, like red is Labor, blue is Liberal, teal is their group.
The teal's supposed to be a different colour. Nat, 6 weeks of...
look, you know me, I'm an Albo fan. So,
and you reckon he's going to win?
Look, he's a genuine bloke and I like him and let's...
Now, this will go to air on Facebook and YouTube the day after we record it.
So, I know, because you're Labor as well.
I'm Labor. And Chris, what do you think is going to happen?
Oh, I think Labor are going to win, but I think it's time factor. Everyone gets to a point, doesn't matter who they are, where people just want to be rid of them.
Here's my prediction, right? I think Labor will end up with 70 seats, not enough to form government. The Independents, the Teals, will end up with about 20 seats. I think the Greens will get about 8, and I think the Liberals and Nationals will drop to about 30 seats. And I think we're going to find a new opposition made up of a lot of independents, and I think the independents will side with Labor because if you want more of the same, they wouldn't have run.
Well, it worked when Julia Gillard was there.
Yeah, but it'll be a different role.
I disagree with that. I think they destroyed
legislation through than any other time, Chris.
I see your point of view.
She was forced to acquiesce to their demands,
she had no
which
choice.
may not have been good policy.
Look, she was, as I remember it correctly, both Julia Gillard and Tony Abbott offered them lots of little sweeteners. They trusted her more than him, and they went with that. And she was very successful in introducing a lot of good legislation. Remember down the Julia Gillard days, we got the NDIS. We got the first increase in the pension, which was significant in like 30 years. So look, I wish them both well. This is, of course, a week before the election. I wish the Prime Minister well. I wish the new Prime Minister well, if that means anything. And I say once again what I said last time, if you can't govern your party, you can't govern the nation. And I think we've proven that. You can't change in the last week. You can't be a different person. And especially when you've criticised the opposition leader for changing his glasses, his looks, his suits. So a bit hypocritical. But well done. Great job, Prime Minister, for the last so many years. And if you get elected again, I love you. I really do. It was Nat, Chris, and Ted that made me say that.
I never said a word.
No, I know you did, but you didn't say anything.
I never say what my political views are.
I don't know. 2 weeks, 2 bitching segments, and Chris has had nothing to say.
Well, if Jen Merrigan was here, I'd have been bashed around the head by now. Yes.
That is it, guys. Thank you very much.
Instead, I'm just going to correct you.
Can I thank you both? Thank you to Chris. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Ted, welcome back. Nice to have you here. And Nat, we're hoping to see you maybe every couple of weeks on the show. And hopefully Jen Merrigan will be back for the last one for this month. And we'll see you all next week on the couch. Have a great week. Freedom is coming. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.